Welcome back to Seriously Funny. I am your host, Mashnor Kabir, and I have no hippocampus. So, again, like a few weeks ago, I've just woken up, so my voice is deeper than any gutter and any hole on this planet, deeper than every gorge, every canyon ever on Mars, on Earth, the Mariana Trench, all of it, okay? Anyways, to start off this episode, let's quickly touch on CES 2021. The inaccurately named Consumer Electronics Show was completely online due to the pandemic. I say inaccurately named because CES shows really cool technology and electronics. I mean, it's really cool, but it's not going to be available to an average consumer for about 3 to 4 years, and if they are available, it's going to be a few $10,000 or $100,000. That's not very much a consumer electronic, in my opinion, at least not when it's shown. So, there were the coolest thing I think I saw was a rollable phone. So instead of a foldable phone, it like expands and contracts when you need it. I don't know, it's an interesting concept, but yeah, that's probably the coolest thing I saw. Other than that, everything else I didn't see anything else interesting. Because I mean, Nvidia already released all their stuff, AMD already released all their stuff, and a lot of brands just didn't come because an online show just isn't good enough to display what they need. Let's move on to the meat of the show then. So let me start with a preface. I'm gonna tell you something about myself, okay? I have zero sense of direction. I don't have a sense of direction. The hippocampus is the area in the brain that controls your sense of direction and your sense of balance and stuff. Don't have it. All right, none of that. Also, my long-term episodic memory, so like my ability to retain a memory about something that happened in my life, doesn't exist. That's also the hippocampus. So I just don't have that. My brain says no directional awareness whatsoever. I don't know what I'm doing. When I play video games with people, they're talking about this map awareness and knowing where everything is. You know that mini map they have on the edge of games? Yeah, they don't need that. Their brain is the mini map. Okay, that's who I play with. And I'm sitting there not even being able to look at the mini map, and I just go wherever the god life takes me. Same with driving. So when I say I have no sense of direction, it's bad. I mean, I have no sense of direction. Like, it's really bad. When I'm driving, I cannot follow a GPS. I will miss the turns, even with the GPS. I bought an Apple Watch, and my Apple Watch will literally beep before every turn I need to take, and I will still miss my turn. It's not a good time. Looking at a map, so if I'm walking and I'm using my map, it doesn't work. I don't know where to go. I don't know where I'm stepping. Like, even then, I have no idea which road is which way. What does north mean? Like, come on, what is this? And it's just, not a fun time. And generally, for my entire life, I've lived in the same area. I've moved three times in my life, but it's been around the same area, same general area, same county. There you go. In Virginia. And so even though I've been everywhere I need to go within this county, I know where all the stores, or I'm supposed to know where all the stores are. I've been there multiple times in my life with other people. I can't drive there myself without any sort of help from a GPS. I don't know if I should be embarrassed or not. And as for driving, I'm not a bad driver. I would like to think I'm a pretty okay driver, pretty solid. I can follow the rules of the road. I can play dodge a car really well. It's fine. I'm fairly focused, and it's great. Driving, I'm God, okay? But the reason I hate driving, the reason I don't drive very much at all, is because I always get lost. Like I said, with the GPS, I'm going to miss every turn that I can possibly miss. It's really bad. I don't know where I'm going ever, and it's not a good time. Luckily, I live in America, so we live in our road system is a grid system, so getting lost is a little bit tough. But, if I lived in London or something, I would never drive in my life. Never, ever. Nope, wouldn't happen. Their roads are God knows what, and you will get lost, and you will take 4 hours to get back to where you need to get. It's not fun. My sense of direction is like a small cactus. No matter how much I work on it, it's not going to grow. My sense of direction is like a criminal sense of morality, okay? Maybe it's there, but it's not in work. It's not in play, okay? My sense of direction is like a flash. Never mind. You get the point, okay? Now, let me tell you the story of my first time. That's a little misleading. My first time using public transportation. Um, yeah, gotcha. Don't worry, I'm celibate. Um, so yeah, public transportation, probably not a surprise, as dumb as that joke was, considering that it's in the title. Yeah, I tried to use a bus, so let's go through this story time right here. You guys ready? Okay, mentally preparing myself for the embarrassment of a story that you're about to go through here. All right. So one of my classes this semester in college is partly in person. It's a hybrid class, and so I wanted to see where my class was and make sure that I knew where it was, which room it was, and that I could get there. You know, it's in the morning, so I need to make sure I can get there, right? Because again, horrible sense of direction. So let me get lost trying to get there a few days early while I'm still on break, instead of getting lost trying to get to class in a few days here, right? So yeah, that's what I wanted to do. That was the plan. So first, I got into a car and I drove there with the help of a GPS. And there was nowhere to park, so I couldn't really park and go inside that day. But I drove there. I found the hall. I knew what it looked like. I knew which building it was. And I was like, all right, cool, awesome. And so then the day after that, after I went home with the car, I went into my room and started playing video games again. I know I didn't. I think I watched anime. So much anime. So much anime. I just finished watching a certain magical index, a certain scientific railgun, and a certain scientific accelerator. Please watch that anime series. I know it's long. It's six seasons in all, 7 seasons in all. A lot of episodes, and I burned through it. I just signed my life away to the anime for about a week. It was completely worth it. Incredible, incredible anime. I recommend following the Railgun series first and then going to but anyways, great anime. Go watch it. If you're an anime watcher, watch it. If you're not an anime watcher, watch something else and then watch it. Get an anime. Anime is great, and it's the best sense of entertainment in the world. So yeah, the next day after I watched my anime, I was like, all right, tomorrow I'll learn how to use the buses, because I'm probably not going to be driving there. You need a parking pass, and then you need to. I'm probably going to use the buses, and so I need to learn how to use the buses because I've never used the buses before. And so this is where the story really starts. Okay, next day, don't remember. I think it was a Sunday, maybe a Saturday. I left my house, had my Apple Maps open. I had the transit app for the buses open. I got two apps helping me out here. Two of them. Not one, two, because I'm not competent enough to use one. So we were ready. All right, we were prepared. And so I went to the street corner that it said to go to. And here we run into our first problem. Remember how I said I can't read a map at all? Yeah, here we go. Already, I'm on the wrong street corner. All right, I'm staring at the map, and I'm like, something's wrong here. I don't know what, but I realized it. Who? We caught this one. All right, we realized this one before the bus came. And so I went to the right corner. It was literally a few steps away. Honest mistake. Okay, we can give myself a pass on this one. And so, the bus came and it stopped, and I'm like, wow. So this is what it's like, huh? I've ridden like public school buses for my school my entire life. I don't drive. I never drove to school except for like extenuating circumstances from elementary to high school. But this is my first time on like public transportation, where they got all the fancy handlebars on the top and you can ride the bus standing and stuff. Now I'm terrified to touch anything on this bus because there's a pandemic going on. But I get on the bus. I sit down on the bus. There was just one old lady on the bus, but other than her, completely empty. I got on and I just stared at my phone so intensely, like my eyes were going to pop out of my head and go onto my phone and stick there like suction cups. Okay, I was looking. All right, I was just trying to make sure that I got off at the right place. Extremely paranoid. I don't know how this bus stuff works. Okay, I don't know if it's like in the movies. Do I pull a string on the edge of the like roof or something that says, "Hey, I need to stop"? Like, how does it work? And so I did get off at the right place, gang. It just stopped where it needed, or where I needed it to stop, and it was a good time. And so the next bus stop that I needed to catch for the next bus, it was a few steps away, a few feet away, so I walked on over there. And here's where we run into real problems, okay? So multiple buses go through one bus stop, And so on that bus, or on those buses, there's going to be some labels on them like XYZ or ABC, right? And so I need to catch, say, the ABC bus, but the XYZ bus is there. And so that's the problem I was having. I went there and there was a bus there, but it was not the bus that I needed to catch. It was some other bus. And so I didn't get on because I'm like, well, that's not my bus. I can't just hop onto that one. It's probably not going to take me where I need to go, right? And so what did I do? I didn't do anything. I looked around confused. People were probably looking at me, staring at me, thinking, what is this person doing? Why does he look so suspicious? I had a fanny pack on, and they were probably like, what the frick is this? Should I be scared? I was just a babe in the woods. It was not good. It was for other people. I'm sure they're just, what the frick is wrong with this guy? But no one was like, hey, do you need assistance? Come on, dude. Someone help me out here. No, I'm kidding. They all had friends and someone to talk to. I don't think they had time to talk to me or help me out. But yeah, so I couldn't find my bus. In the end, the bus with the wrong name left, and I'm like, well, what do I do now? Shrugged my shoulders. I'm not panicking. I don't panic very much. That's not really my brand. Okay, panicking, that's for losers. I don't panic. Okay, so I just thought, well, what now? Shrugged my shoulders and said, let's just walk there, right? Maybe this is a mission fail, but let's walk there and make sure we can get to the class. Because I was confident I could ride the one bus that I rode, the first bus. So I was like, all right, cool. We'll just walk from here, because maybe I'll need to do that again one day. Most likely I'll need to do that again one day. And so I walked there. I took the Apple Maps. I put in my hall name because Apple Maps is like integrated with a lot of colleges. And so put in my hall name, and I started skedaddling over there. Did I miss a few turns? A little bit, but it's walking. So it's not too hard to fix that. You can just like walk over the grass on like a road. You can't just like walk or run over a sidewalk and go to the different road, So walking, missed turns there are pretty okay, pretty innocuous. And so, finally we got to the hall and we saw the lecture hall or the class. I don't know, whatever you guys call it. Big room. That's going to be intense. It's huge. It's enormous. It's bigger than my left arm. It's incredible. Now that I had seen the hall and it was this very anticlimactic thing, I thought I was going to open the doors and the light would shine on me and be like, oh, you made it. The game is over. You've won, 3 stars. But unfortunately, I realized, well, now I need to get home. So I opened up both of my maps again, put on the bus route, opened the transit route, and then I went to the stop that was on the map that it told me to go to. And so I went to that stop, and then a bus came. And similar to the previous situation, this bus had the wrong label on it. But this time, I was like, you know what, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe something is just wrong with the label. So the labels are electronic, so they're like lit up, so they could probably change. And so I was like, well, maybe it's just whatever. Let's just get on. Try it out. Why not? And so I got on, I'm sure you guys know where this is about to go. So I got on the bus, and it took me along some weird routes, bro. I'm just watching this thing go in squares, circles, and rectangles. God knows where. I don't know what's happening. I'm just watching out the window as my map is saying, you are going in the wrong way, guy. And it's not fun. I'm just watching as this metal death trap takes me through the back roads of the universe. I don't know what's happening. I've never seen these roads in my life. And then I end up at God's knows where. I'm just like, what? How did I get here? Get off the bus. I'm like, well, this is great. This is the first stop of the bus. And I'm like, well, crap, great, awesome, incredible. And so, it was quite the time. Anyways, I got off at the bus stop that bus left me off, and I started looking again, which bus do I need to ride now to get home? And so I found that stop, and I walked on over there. It wasn't that far away. And so the problem here was there's 2 stops, okay? There's the one stop that I was standing at, and then right across the road, 5-10 steps away, there's another stop. And so there's 2 stops. And so I'm sitting here all right, I'm taking a gamble right now. Either the bus I need is going to be coming to the stop I'm standing at, or it's going to be on the one across the street. And if it's the one across the street, well, it's not going to stop for me because that's not the bus stop I'm standing at. And so we took my gamble. We took the gamble. Okay. And so I'm looking, I'm just waiting for the bus, waiting for my bus. It's a good time standing there. I believe in my decision. And of course, I stood on the wrong side of the street. Of course, I did. This wouldn't be a good story if I stood on the right side of the street, would it? And so I watched as the bus that I was waiting for, like a movie, just slowly, painfully, and sadly, just passed me by. I just saw it. It had the right name. It was the right bus. It was the bus that I needed to get on, and I was on the wrong effing side of the street. I had a coin. I had a coin with two sides to flip, and it was heads or tails, and I effing chose tails when it landed on heads. It was 50-50 chance, and I effed it up. I scuffed it up completely. So bad. I know. It's sad. It was not a good time. Now, as I looked onto my transit app again, I thought, all right, let me see if there's another bus coming. So the next bus was going to be there in like 40 minutes or 30 minutes. And I was like, crap. But I also saw that on the app, there's like a number for the bus stop. And then I looked at the bus stop I was standing at, and there was like a sign with a number on it. And I was like, oh, so I could have just read this number and made known which stop I needed to stand at. So at least we learned something from this massive failure and painful experience. So that's something. But yeah, it was a time. It was quite the time. Again, I'm not panicked. I was more just like, well, crap, 50-50 chance, and I really messed it up, and that's just sad. But anyways, yeah, so that was a learning experience. Next thing I did was all right, I'm not gonna wait 30 to 40 minutes, God knows where, waiting for a bus. It's not the temperature's not the greatest of the great, and so I walk away from the bus stop. I plop myself down on somewhere, and I call one person, and they don't pick up. They were at work. And then I call another person, and they don't pick up. They were asleep. Yeah, yeah. So much pain. Pain is all I know. All I know is pain. It is pain. Anyways, I then just decided to open up the Apple Maps again. I closed the transit app begrudgingly, just triggered complete. You should have seen me swipe up on that transit app, dude. I could swear I lost skin on my thumb. I was so angry. Not really, but we'll pretend like I was, and just transit app, kicked it out of there as hard as I possibly could. I would have deleted it if I could have, but anyways, yeah. So I open up the Apple Maps again. Apple doesn't fail me. And then I found a route home, which is walking. And then I started walking. And honestly, I don't know how Apple knows of some of the roads that it took me down. Like, they weren't even roads. Like, they were barely carved out trails by, like, bears or something. Like, I don't know how Apple knew that that was a walking area in my town. I had zero idea that these routes existed in my entire life. It was, I don't know how, it's incredible. Anyways, so I started walking home. It took actually it. So I learned that walking is actually like it works really well. So to walk from God knows where I was to back home, it took like about 20 minutes, and that was really surprising because it was fairly far away. It was like a mile or two away. And yeah, that's impressive. So I learned that walking like is a viable option. Like, I'm probably not going to be late if I walk, because you actually clear a lot of ground if you walk. And I'm short, all right. I'm not tall. I think barely average height. I'm like 5'7" or something. So like, I'm not making big strides here. I don't got some long legs. I'm a pretty proportionate dude, except for the fact that I'm fat. But yeah, that's how it was. But yeah, I walked home, and my dad was working. I live at home, and I opened the door, looked on over at me. How was it? Yeah, I had to walk home. I only rode one bus out of the three that I needed to ride. It was absolutely incredible. Actually, I guess I rode two buses, but one of them was just the wrong one. But yeah. Yeah, that's my great old story about messing up literally everything. My sense of direction did not improve in any way, shape, or form. So very, very fun. Also, with missing the buses, like my right bus not being there, one of the reasons that it was such a problem was because like these buses have a schedule. Like there's a time that's estimated that they're gonna be there, and so I waited for a few minutes around that time, but my bus never showed up, and so I don't know what went wrong exactly. I don't know. Definitely an issue, not fun, but it'd be like that. That's why I had some of the problems that I did, and that's why I was like, oh, this is the bus that showed up at the correct time that it's supposed to. Maybe that's why it's my bus. That was my logic there. Instead of just like, oh, I'm gonna ride this bus for no reason. It was a conjecture more than an assumption, or a conjecture more than a blind walk in. I'm not out here um, blindly drinking out of solo cups. Don't do that, kids. Okay, we gotta stay protected. Don't go to parties either. You'll die. New COVID strand. Also, get vaccinated. It's free. I actually learned more about the vaccination. Um, I'm gonna. Yeah, I should. I'll touch on that next week. I'll talk about the vaccination some more next week. I think that's really important. So yeah, I'll do that next week. So just in case my story wasn't long enough, I had some thoughts on my second semester. We'll also throw that in for next week. Yeah, I think that was a good story. I hope I told it well. I hope it was funny. If you listen to it, if you listen for my voice, this morning voice, really, really, really gravel. Just it's pure gravel, completely sedimentary rocks. Just and so hopefully you enjoyed this episode of Seriously Funny, regardless of what you're listening for. Hopefully your lives are all going and fine, dandy, and awesome. Yeah, it takes me 50 minutes to end these episodes, so let me just say very quickly, I love all of you. Thank you for listening to this episode of Seriously Funny. Please share this episode with your friends that have no sense of direction and tell them that they are not alone. Yeah, once again, thank you for listening. I will see you next week. Peace.